Hey, good evening, blessings out there, everybody. It's your man Rod Hickman, generational wealth builders, where poverty ends with us. Listen, um, just wanted to get on for a few minutes because I had a conversation with a great gentleman yesterday, great man, and our conversation took me to an emotional place. And we were talking about the business that we're in, and we were talking about the products and services, and talking about all those type of things, and how my wife and I actually able to make a living doing this. I'm actually able to make a good living doing this, right? But he took me to an emotional place. He said, "What got you started doing life insurance?" And I had to pause for a minute because um, I tell people quite often one of the things that I do. I saw during the pandemic how a lot of people were taking their retirement monies and blowing it on stuff. And again, that is part of the pain there, right? You see people that are working 10, 20. It took people 10, 20, 30 years to make the kind of money that they had in their 401k. And then they just take it and automatically, start wasting it on stuff because they couldn't see past the pandemic. And so now people are wondering, what am I going to do? Am I going to have enough money to retire? Either way, I saw that. And so I really wanted to be in the place where I could help families prevent that, right? I wanted to show families how they could make money, where they could put money where it would be. I wanted to make sure that families actually had protection, that they were actually protected with life insurance, because there were people that were dying and they didn't have life insurance. And we saw GoFundMe's popping up everywhere, right? And as you know, and as I've talked time and time again, a GoFundMe only pays for the funeral, right? Very rarely do people get more money than what is needed to pay for the funeral on a GoFundMe. You get what I'm saying? So my point in all that being, those were part of the reasons why I got into the life insurance industry, because I wanted to make sure that families were protected. But let me, if you don't mind, take off some of the armor. Let me tell you a personal reason. And it goes back to my mother, right? Beta Jean Powell. And my mother, I won't get into all that because I'll probably break down, but mother and I didn't have the best relationship. We didn't. I was her only child, and there were some situations that, got the best of my mom's, and it caused me to have to grow up quite independent. And so, either way, long story longer, the last years of my mom's life were her best years. So, I do want to acknowledge that she did more for herself in her last years than she did any other time. But the reason why I'm so passionate about making sure that our parents have life insurance, right? Is because my mom began to experience signs of Alzheimer's and dementia. And we had to find her a group home. And there's a cost that's attributed to that. And then, when you have the group home, now, there, again, having to put your mother in a home is already a mind job, right? Having to put a parent into a home is already a mind job. But, now you're thinking like, oh man, this costs, and what if this don't work and that don't work, and all those kind of things. But either way, so then while she was there, she was diagnosed with cirrhosis of the liver, at which point in time they then moved her to the hospital. And ultimately, that's where my mother would go ahead on and leave this earth. But here's the reason why. Um, there is a benefit called the living benefit. And had I known that there was such a product type wherein with when whomever is insured, if they're diagnosed with a critical, a chronic, or a terminal illness or injury, heart attack, stroke, cancer, get on dialysis, and a litany of other things, there's a life insurance policy that will turn around and give them access to the death benefit while they're still alive. I want you to hear me again. There's a life insurance policy out there that if the person that's insured is diagnosed with a critical, chronic, or terminal illness or injury, they'll give you 75 to 80% of that death benefit while that person is still alive. And when I heard that, that threw me for a loop, because having gone through what I've gone through with my mom, I realized that we could have probably put her, and again, this isn't no knock on nobody, but we could have probably gotten her in a different type of facility, whatever the case may be. We would have had more resources to do things that we wanted to do versus doing things that we had to do. And so that's why when I talk with clients, especially the older clients, and right now I really want to talk to children. If you have parents that are getting older, it is your responsibility to make sure that your parents have life insurance. Yes, I'm saying it. It's your responsibility, because you are going to have to make sure that your parents are taken care of. It's your responsibility to make sure they have life insurance. Your responsibility to make sure that they're taken care of when they're older. A lot of them didn't have the access to the stuff that we have. But it's selfish of us when we are working class. Most of our parents, if they're older, and especially if they didn't know about money and now they're on a fixed income, it is selfish of you to think that your parent is supposed to have $500,000 worth of life insurance on them and you know they can't even pay for it. That's selfish. It is. And again, y'all can get off, you can block me. I don't care. I'm telling you my why. Because when your parents start going through these situations, see, we don't think about situations like, well, my parent may get sick. What happens if, they're not able to take care of themselves? Who's going to take care of them? And don't you know, that's when most families start getting into fights. Who's going to take care of mom, right? And then they may have the one child that does it, then the other ones, they're going to be going about their business. So now you got one child being burnt out by everybody, by taking care of the parent, while everybody else out living their best life. It's selfish. And so when I tell you that we offer this product with those living benefits for parents, I'm telling you that's the reason why I'm so passionate about life insurance. Yes, the death benefit and all that there, but what if they don't die? What if they're still alive? Don't you know you need access to resources while they're still alive? You don't want your parents, or you don't want, let's not even say your parents. God forbid something happened to a spouse. You don't want them feeling like the only way my family is going to benefit is if I die. Think about that for a moment. You don't want that happening. And when we have this product that has what's called the living benefit, again, to me, it's a no-brainer. I get people all the time. I got insurance on the job. I tell you what, get sick and see when that insurance kick in. Get sick and tell me that your job is going to say, hey, here you go. Here's $300,000. Here's $400,000. You get sick and tell me that your job is going to take care of your family like that. You tell me that now. And if they will, I'll take this down. I will apologize and everything else. But here's the thing. I know it doesn't work like that. When someone on the job gets sick, what do? We pass the hat. Hey, y'all heard about old Ronald? Yeah, let's pass the hat for Ronald. Come on, man. And now we don't even understand. Think about it. 2-income home. Ronald can't work. If Ronald is making $50,000 a year, 40, whatever he's making a year, don't you know that is now impacted? Because now he's going to have to go on FMLA. He's going to get short-term disability, but that's not going to be $40,000 a year. And then the spouse is going to have to take off from work to get him there. All these other things, while you still got the same amount of bills that you had when y'all was struggling or barely making it with with 2 incomes. So that's why I'm so passionate about life insurance. That's why I'm passionate about what it is that we do here at the Generational Wealth Builders. That's why I will not relent from challenging people's mindset that insurance is just for when you die. That is not the case. It's not just for when you die. Death insurance is. So let me go back to the job. That's when your job's insurance policy is going to pay out. But the policies that we have the living benefits, and those living benefits are there to help you in case life happens. I know some of y'all may say, well, do you have to pay that money back? No, it's your money. It's called the accelerated death benefit rider. And that rider allows you to, again, to receive 75 to 80% of your death benefit while you're still alive. I'll say this last point and I'm gone. For those of you that feel like, well, I got $50,000 worth of life insurance, 100,000, that is not enough. Let me help you. I'm going to really try to help you here, because this is how we educate our clients. We sit down with our clients and we show them how to make the most of their life insurance. If you have a home, if you're a homeowner and something happens to you, well, let's just say you have a family, are you not aware that your creditors can put your life insurance in probate court? They can literally stop the payment of your life insurance. Can you imagine that? You got $50,000 or $100,000 worth of life insurance and you're banking on that money, but then it gets held up because you got creditors out there. It happens. It happens every day. So when we sit down with our clients, we take our clients through what's called the DIME model. And the DIME model simply allows you to make sure that you have more than enough life insurance, that God forbid if something should happen, your family is taken care of. Lickety split. We don't believe in all that. Well, we just put it to chance. My family deserves more than that. In the time of grieving, money is the last thing you want to be worried about. Money should be the last thing that you really, really want to be worried about. You're thinking about the person, and let's just be honest, folk aren't like they used to be. We have some wonderful neighbors, and I'm gonna shout them out: the Hollands, 8 Ball. We have some wonderful neighbors that when we went through our tragedy with Larod, they were right there doing the old school thing, bringing food to the house, making sure we taken care of. Chuck the Baptist, Chuck Williams, again, Clay Gilbert, all of those people came to the home. My pastor, my Bishop William, that's right. They came to our home, did the old school thing. Money was not a concern. I'm just saying that to say, a lot of you, your families are going to be messed up if something happens to you. And I'm not just talking about because of your absence. I'm not just talking about because of the loss. I'm talking about financially, they are going to be ruined. And again, I'm talking to you from this emotional place because the conversation I had yesterday has stayed on my mind. And I'll say this, again, as I said, my mom, again, we didn't have the best relationship growing up. And I'll just leave that at that. And she didn't leave anything behind. Um, but here's the thing, what she did leave behind was this experience. And there's a quote that I read today, which really kind of got me going to really want to do this live. Because again, I don't really like to talk emotionally. Because again, if you know me, I'm hard as project bricks, but I'll cry sometime when I think about my mom. But it says, pain has its own noble joy when it starts a consciousness of life from a stagnant one. Pain has its own noble joy when it starts a life of consciousness from a stagnant one. And so I say that to say, if I would not have went through what I went through with my mom and in her passing, then I would not have helped the families that I've helped so far. I would not be in the position that I'm in right now. And so what I really want to ask in my closing is learn from my pain. Grow from the pain that my wife and I went through. Grow from the pain that we experienced and be able to be better. Listen, next month, September, is Life Insurance Awareness Month. I challenge you to take a look at your personal policies. I challenge you. I can't afford it. You cannot afford to have a personal life insurance policy. I'm just going to tell you straight up. Your family will suffer. I'm just going to be straight with you. And again, especially now, because remember, not everybody just drops dead. Some people end up in situations, people get diagnoses and stuff like that. And again, at that point in time, trying to get life insurance, then even if you get insured, you're not going to be able to afford it. So what I challenge you to do is, as we prepare for Life Insurance Awareness Month, I really, really would like for you to schedule a complimentary consultation. Again, any one of the generational wealth builders can help you. They're very, very well trained. I've trained them. They are very astute when it comes to meeting your needs and making sure that we're getting you the overall best value. You can book your time with me. Again, the consultations are free. And so I have to ask people sometimes, what are you afraid of? Are you afraid that you're going to see something that can change your life and you're not going to want to partake in it? So I challenge you to do that. I challenge you to book the consultation. They're free. You can, if you're in the Covington or Tipton County area, you can come here. If you're in the Memphis or Jackson area, we'll come to you. Whatever, just book the consultation. We'll work everything else out. But please make sure that your family is protected. Make sure that your parents are protected. Again, I can't tell you how much of a better position we would be in if we had the ability to utilize the living benefit from my mom when she got sick. I can't tell you. We don't cry with spilled milk, but that's the passion. That's really my personal drive to educate families on personal life insurance policies. Well, listen, love you all so much. Y'all, hope y'all know I do. Because if I didn't love you, I wouldn't get on here and tell you the stuff that I tell you. I want you to win. I want you to be successful. I want you to be in a place where, again, God forbid, in the worst time of your life, you know that there's a glimmer of hope that's going to come. All right. Well, look, y'all have a good day. God bless. And happy Labor Day to you. God bless. Bye now.